Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and today we're going to be talking about the snow, specifically snowplow drivers. So, if you know, we are actually getting into the season where snowplow drivers can be making a lot of money. Now, depending on what part of the country that you're living in, depends on how much snowplow drivers will actually make. So, in today's video, we're going to be going through the facts of what it takes to actually become a snowplow driver. Maybe you'll learn things that you don't know already. And for instance, if you're in Florida, you're probably not going to make as much money as if you're in like North Dakota or something like that. So that being said, overall, no matter where you are, these are the facts to understand about becoming a snowplow driver. So before we actually get into it, you have to understand what is a snowplow driver. What are the responsibilities? The responsibilities in general is going to be to operate a machine that's going to help reduce the snow on the actual roads itself. So that means your job is to remove ice and snow because of your plow itself on the roads. In most cases, you're going to be out there when times are tough. Now, there's two types of snowplow drivers. There's going to be normal snowplow drivers, which means those are the guys in like a pickup truck with just a plow in the front of it. And then there's going to be heavy snowplow drivers, which is going to be the guys who are required a CDL license. So even though you're driving a snowplow and the vehicle weighs more than 26,000 pounds, because you're on a actual road that's owned by the government, you are going to be required to have an actual CDL license. So maybe you want some extra supplemental income this winter and you're in an area that snows a whole lot. Maybe getting your CDL license is probably the best option for you. One of the guys that actually love being snowplow drivers is going to be people in the construction field, because in the wintertime, the grounds freeze over and you really don't have work available for you. So when it comes to actually getting yourself a CDL license in your construction field, and the time that you're getting laid off in the wintertime, you can actually get supplemental income, and a whole lot of it being a snowplow driver, especially if you're dealing with a lot of different snow. Now, that being said, how much do snowplow drivers actually get paid? So snowplow drivers usually get paid by the hour based on how many hours that they are out there. And every company is going to have different bonus structures and different compensation structures. But on average, it's going to be an hourly pay, because other than that, they really can't afford to pay any other way. But the cool thing is, if you are called to be on standby and you're waiting inside the truck, you're getting paid. Even though it snows 2 inches, 1 inch, or a few centimeters, you are still waiting in the truck, waiting for standby, which means you deserve to get paid itself. Now, that being said, there's going to be private companies, and then there's going to be public companies that are snowplow drivers. Now, that being said, there's two types of companies that are going to employ snowplow drivers. One is going to be an actual private company, right? That's owned by an actual individual or a group of individuals. Two is going to be the government. So in a lot of states, there's the DOT officials itself, and those guys are people who are state employees. Their job is to make sure that state highways are under control and things are good to go. In other states or in other parts of the state cannot handle the entirety of it, so they're going to hire subcontractors to make sure that they're getting the job done correctly. Now, you can get down to the smallest part where you're like us here at Driving Academy. We have snowplows that come on in when it snows to clear out our training yard, so our students are able to keep training that very next day when it does stop snowing itself. So understanding that there's differences there. One of the things that most people don't understand when it comes to snow plowing is going to be the mental alertness that somebody needs, right? A lot of people just think, oh, it's so easy. All I'm doing is driving an actual truck itself, going straight. The roads are empty, and I'm able to rule the roads itself. Now, I've plowed snow for hours on end before. I think the longest I've ever plowed snow was almost 16 hours straight with some bathroom breaks in between. And what starts happening to you after so many hours of plowing white snow over and over and over again, you start getting into this hypnosis state, right? When you're driving down streets, imagine what it feels like driving down a street and then an hour later coming back around, doing your loop and doing it again because it looks like nothing was ever done before. Now, it's me specifically, I was plowing out parking lots, and imagine plowing out a parking lot and all of a sudden you get to the end and then you look where you started and you're like, oh my God, nothing was done. It gets super frustrating and you get into this hypnosis state. So staying alert is super important, especially for those people who are actually out on the public roads, because there's going to be cars that you're sharing the road with, right? Most of the time, these roads are not blocked off to pedestrians and to people actually driving their road, which means that you have to stay alert to make sure you're not causing any damage. It's very easy to fall asleep behind the wheel. It's very easy to kind of just zone out and get going. And all of a sudden, these big vehicles, especially the bigger heavy snow plows itself, can actually cause a whole lot of damage on parked cars, or maybe guys who are pulling over in front of you or anything like that. So staying alert, super important. Some tips of the trade are going to be things like listen to audiobooks to make sure your mind is staying occupied, making sure you're always being alert, watching your mirrors, and making sure sometimes you're keeping the window open. Even though it's cold, it's going to make sure that you stay awake for a long time. Some of these guys are going to be working into different hours of the night, and it can be super dangerous, but it's a very important job to make sure that these roads are able to be driven on so everybody can get back with their lives. And it's something that you can make a lot of money with as long as you stay alert. So if you're somebody who usually gets laid off in the wintertime and you need something to do that's going to pay you a good amount of money, maybe getting a CDL license might be the best option for you, so you could drive this big bad boy right over there. Now, the pay is going to be great. The timing is going to be flexible depending on what Mother Nature wants to do, right? So it's a good option for you. And especially if you're in the dump truck business itself, most of the time dump trucks do get slow in the wintertime. It's great to buy some plows itself, put in front of your dump trucks. Try to get some snowplow contracts because you're going to be spreading salt behind you and all that as well. So that being said, if you are interested in getting yourself a CDL Class B, that's what you would need to drive one of these things right over here. All you need to do is a two-step process. First step is pass a few different written exams to get yourself a CDL permit. Step number 2 is pass a 2.5-hour-long road test and get your actual license. So if you want to learn more about this process, give us a call or check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. Again, cdldrivingacademy.com. One more time, cdldrivingacademy.com. Ask to get a CDL Class B license because you want to be able to drive a snowplow, and then our team is able to help you out. We have locations across the country. Find the location that's nearest you, and we can definitely get yourself on the road to freedom. Thanks. Have a great day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.